she said. She couldn't wait to be in his arms as well. With Chloe's agreement, Elijah moved closer and pressed her into his arms. He didn't think she was cheap, just because she agreed. After all, Chloe had already confessed her affection for him. Therefore, she simply couldn't say no to him. Since Chloe didn't push him away, he successfully moved a step towards his purpose. After a few moments, Chloe pulled away slightly and said, Elijah, I actually have a lot to talk to you about, but I'm afraid it's not right. I don't want to ruin our relationship. She felt aggrieved because she had kept her feelings to herself for a long time, and she could barely stand it now. You can tell me whatever you want to say. Tell me everything, Elijah whispered. He knew that Chloe wanted to tell him how much she liked him, but he was willing to listen. Elijah, I've admired you from afar for a long time. I could never stop imagining being with you, but I knew it was impossible, so I thought it would only happen in my dreams, Chloe said. Elijah tucked a strand of her hair behind her ear, and she wanted more than just a hug, so she whispered, Elijah, can you kiss me? Of course, Elijah replied. That was what he wanted to do anyway. When Elijah agreed, Chloe was even happier. The next moment, he kissed her. However, it wasn't a quick kiss. Instead, it lasted longer and longer. Both of them wanted more from each other, so neither of them stopped. The kiss became more and more passionate over time. When they were about to undress, Chloe suddenly felt nervous. She grabbed Elijah's hand and came back to her senses. Elijah, we can't do this, she protested, even though she was actually burning with desire. She only wanted Elijah to be bossy and force her to stop being worried. Elijah immediately stopped and withdrew his hands. I'm sorry, I lost control, he apologized. You could see that Chloe wanted him too, but she was worried. Therefore, he believed she would agree, as long as he cleared up her worries. To be honest with you, after seeing you today, I had all kinds of reactions. No girl has ever made me so full of desire, Elijah told her. It was true. This was the first time that he was so easily aroused by a girl. Do you think that's a bad thing? He asked. No. It's very normal that men are attracted to women. Sometimes it can't be controlled. For example, I know you have a girlfriend, but I still fell hopelessly in love with you, Chloe said sincerely. How much do you like me? Elijah asked. I like you so much that I wish I could be with you instead of Alyssa, Chloe admitted. It was her dream, so she decided to admit it. You know, I also want to be with you after being amazed by you today. Unfortunately, Alyssa and I aren't over yet. Our families don't want us to be together, but I don't want to hurt her. So, Elijah trailed off, seeming to find it difficult to say. Honestly, at this moment, Chloe was more important to him than Alyssa, and he had the idea of leaving Alyssa for Chloe. After all, he had been with Alyssa for a long time. He didn't feel excited any longer, whereas Chloe was completely new. However, he knew that he was only having those thoughts because he was caught up in the moment. The truth was, he only wanted a new experience with Chloe. Maybe he would break up with Alyssa and start dating Chloe in the future, but he wasn't ready to do that yet. I can wait for you, Elijah. If you want to be with me as well, I can wait until you break up with Alyssa. But if you continue to be with her, I'll keep my love for you to myself. I won't ruin your relationship, Chloe promised emotionally. She wanted Elijah to know her real thoughts. She sounded very considerate. It seemed she loved Elijah deeply, but in reality, normal people would think her behavior was unacceptable. It wasn't wrong that Chloe fell in love with Elijah. After all, it was hard to control one's emotions. But she was wrong when she told Elijah about her feelings before he separated from Alyssa. Not only that, but she also behaved intimately with Elijah. Elijah didn't have moral standards, so he felt very satisfied when Chloe said that to him. It was best for him if he could avoid breaking up with Alyssa, but still have an affair with Chloe. Won't you feel wronged? Elijah asked, pretending to be sad for her. If he didn't act lovingly, Chloe wouldn't be convinced. I won't feel wronged. I'm only afraid that it'll end up as nothing, Chloe replied worriedly. Impossible. If it'll end up as nothing, I wouldn't have said this to you. I know it's wrong to want you, Well, I already have a girlfriend, but I can't control it. I'm really attracted to you. I'm burning up with desire, and I won't feel better until I have you, Elijah said desperately. He indeed felt desperate to get intimate with Chloe. Chloe was excited and was persuaded by Elijah. If you really want to, we can. Her voice trailed off. However, Elijah could already understand what she was thinking. He was excited, but still pretended to respect her. Are you sure? Although I want to have you, I don't want to force you, he said. Yeah, of course, Chloe confirmed. She felt respected by Elijah and had a better impression of him. However, if Elijah really respected her, he wouldn't have thought of doing all the inappropriate things with her without intending to break up with Alyssa. After Chloe agreed, Elijah couldn't control himself any longer. He immediately kissed her, then pressed her down onto the bed. Even though Chloe was nervous, she didn't push him away. Instead, she was looking forward to it. Elijah had slept with Alyssa and other women before. Although it didn't happen often, he was very familiar with what he had to do. Therefore, he quickly made Chloe relax, and she began to enjoy it. Elijah was aware that this was Chloe's first time, so he was excited. The next moment, he was even more vigorous. Chloe moaned in pleasure. How do you feel now? Is it painful? Elijah asked. It's not, Chloe breathed. Is it comfortable? Elijah asked. However, Chloe was too shy to answer him, so she said nothing. Is it comfortable? I want both of us to feel comfortable. If you don't tell me, I won't know what to do next, Elijah said. He could see that Chloe was enjoying it, but he still wanted to hear the answer from her mouth, because it would get him more excited. Chloe was afraid that Elijah would lose interest, so she said, yes. Hearing Chloe's answer, Elijah was satisfied. They continued with whatever they were doing. During that time, Elijah received messages and calls from Alyssa, but he hated being interrupted, so he turned his phone on silent and didn't know what was coming through. Even if he knew, he wouldn't care. After all, he was busy. Because Elijah didn't reply to her, Alyssa felt irritated. She understood that Elijah might be busy with work and didn't see her messages and calls, but she couldn't help overthinking about it. In her eyes, her relationship with Elijah was in a crisis. Elijah was exhausted after getting intimate with Chloe for more than half an hour. He didn't stop until he was out of strength. Actually, he didn't want to stop, but he was worn out. While they were lying in the dark, Elijah said, Chloe, can you give me some time? We can have a secret relationship for a while. After I break up with Alyssa, we can be together openly, alright? For the time being, don't let Alyssa know about our relationship. He said that, mostly to comfort Chloe. After all, he couldn't leave right after getting intimate with her. If Chloe got angry with him, it wouldn't do him any good. Moreover, he enjoyed his time with her. In order to satisfy his needs, he wanted to have a long-term physical relationship with her. He just didn't want to break up with Alyssa right away. No problem. I'll wait until you break up with Alyssa, Chloe responded. She thought that she had successfully stolen Elijah, so she was very satisfied. Unfortunately, whether they could really be together was another matter. After resting for about 10 minutes, Elijah and Chloe got intimate again. The next day, when Mia reached the gate of her high school, she saw Britta. Britta had been waiting there for her for a long time. After Mia helped Britta, she didn't have nightmares last night. Because she slept well, she had almost made a full recovery. When Britta's parents saw the changes in her, they completely trusted Mia and were extremely grateful to her. Seeing Mia, Britta immediately ran to her and said, Didn't you say yesterday that we're friends? We haven't exchanged phone numbers yet. Oh, okay. Let's be friends on WeChat. I'll give my number to you as well. Mia agreed. Afterwards, they added each other on WeChat. Mia also sent Britta her phone number, and vice versa. How are you now? Did you she went to school. She could barely walk steadily, but in her heart, she felt happy because she was finally together with the man she loved. Chloe didn't go home last night, but there was a pair of jeans and a t-shirt in her bag, so she changed her clothing that morning. She didn't wear the dress she put on yesterday. When Chloe arrived at school, she met Alyssa. Although she had long planned to steal Elijah from her, a part of her still felt guilty when she saw Alyssa after it actually happened. After all, her behavior would hurt Alyssa. "Chloe, what happened? You look exhausted," Alyssa remarked, sounding concerned. Chloe felt even guiltier and didn't dare to meet Alyssa's eyes. "I didn't sleep well last night," she muttered. Alyssa believed it because she never thought that Chloe would betray her or have the idea of stealing her boyfriend. "How about you? You don't look well either," Chloe said. She knew that the reason must have something to do with Elijah, but she still asked Alyssa about it. She wanted to hear the answer to feel satisfied. In fact, part of her really wanted to tell Alyssa that she had slept with Elijah to see her reaction. Alyssa would be heartbroken. That was what she wanted to see. Nevertheless, reason got the better of her. She understood that she couldn't say it. Otherwise, it would be impossible for her to be together with Elijah. Even though she had slept with him, and he said that he would leave Alyssa for her, they were just in a secret relationship for now. She couldn't challenge Alyssa right away. "I didn't sleep well either," Alyssa admitted. It was the truth, since she stayed up all night worrying about Elijah. "What's wrong? Did you argue with Elijah?" Chloe asked. She figured that Alyssa wouldn't tell her what happened between them, because she never did. When they asked Alyssa about those things, she only told them when she wanted to let them know. This time, however, Alyssa couldn't stand it any longer, so she told Chloe everything. "We didn't argue, but Elijah seems to be very busy these days. He didn't reply to my messages or answer my calls. We haven't seen each other for days. Yesterday was Sunday, and I wanted to see him," she complained. Chloe was so proud of herself. Alyssa wanted to see Elijah yesterday, but didn't. Meanwhile, Chloe drank with him, danced with him, and they even got intimate. Upon thinking that Elijah could barely get off her body last night, Chloe flushed, and her heart pounded faster. At the same time, she was a little displeased, because she realized that Elijah had done the same thing with Alyssa before. At first, Chloe didn't care that Elijah had made love with Alyssa. However, after being with him herself, she started feeling upset, because they had done the same thing. Still, no matter how unhappy she was about that, she had to keep it to herself. She wouldn't show it on her face, because it couldn't be changed. Now she only hoped that Elijah would quickly leave Alyssa for her, so that they could be together openly. If Elijah didn't leave Alyssa quickly, he would inevitably make love to Alyssa again. Actually, Chloe wanted to ask Elijah to stop getting intimate with Alyssa that morning, but she didn't say it in the end. She felt it was too early to ask that of him. Elijah wouldn't listen to her, and would probably even be mad at her. Therefore, she decided to tolerate it for the time being. Perhaps Elijah's just really busy. After all, he is the Henderson family's heir. He needs to deal with lots of things, Chloe said. "But he's too busy," Alyssa explained. She didn't believe that a man could be so busy that he didn't have time to reply to her. "I don't know," Chloe shrugged. Inwardly, she felt very happy that Elijah feel excited at all. Now that she had major worries about their relationship, a simple explanation couldn't allay her concern. She sent a message and said, "Elijah, why are you so busy these days? You're always at a business meal and drunk. You weren't this busy a while ago." She was really worried and felt aggrieved. Elijah replied, "It's not up to me whether I'm free or not. When I'm busy, it'll last for a while, and then I might be free for a while too. I promise I'll go to see you when I'm free." It was undoubtedly an excuse, because he was no different from before. He was free most of the time. He only went out to drink with his friends because he felt like it. Alyssa could tell that he was acting strange. Therefore, she sent another message that said, "Elijah, I want to see you. Can we eat together tonight? I haven't seen you for a long time." She wouldn't feel relieved until she saw him. Elijah was silent after reading Alyssa's message because he really didn't want to see her. However, he needed to figure out how much he still liked her and how excited he still felt when he was with her. So, after a few minutes of silence, he replied, "Sure, come to see me at my apartment after you finish your classes today. I was drunk last night, and I still don't feel well, so I don't want to go out." He told Alyssa to come to his apartment for a reason. He wanted to know how he would feel when he got intimate with her. If she couldn't excite him, he would dump her. He needed emotional and physical pleasure in a romantic relationship. If he couldn't have that, he would lose interest in Alyssa. Alyssa felt slightly better when Elijah agreed to see her at his apartment. She responded, "I'll pick up some food when I come to see you. What do you want to eat?" Elijah didn't care. "Whatever is fine," he replied. Right after the last morning class was over at noon, Britta hurriedly ran out of her classroom to wait for Mia at the staircase. She didn't wait for Oakley and her other friends, not because she valued Mia more than them, but because she had already told them that she would go to see Mia at noon. Mia had done her a big favor, so she was going to buy her lunch. Oakley and the other girls said nothing because they knew their place. Britta was their leader, so they couldn't interfere in her decisions. Although they were initially hesitant when Britta wanted to be Mia's friend, most of them were eventually persuaded by Mia's abilities and became her fans. They had never seen a girl who was as strong as she was. However, two of them were unhappy about it because Britta was distracted by Mia and left them behind to see her. They felt that Mia had stolen Britta away from them, so they had a bad impression of her. They admired Mia's abilities, but they were also jealous of her. After all, they had been friends with Britta for a long time, so they believed that she should prioritize them. Therefore, after Britta left them for Mia, one girl complained, "Britta always leaves us for Mia these days. She ignores us." "Right," another girl chimed in. "That's Britta's business. She can do whatever she wants. That's her right. Don't interfere," Oakley retorted. Oakley was the first girl who became Britta's lackey, and she was the most loyal to Britta. She wouldn't interfere in Britta's personal affairs, and was the most clear-headed one among them. "But we've been friends for so long, and she's the leader of our friend group. How could Mia steal our leader away?" the girl argued. "Steal? Britta doesn't belong to you. How can Mia steal her away from you? Do you want to interfere in Britta's personal affairs? If you dislike Mia, why don't you try to make things difficult for her if you dare?" Oakley challenged. Obviously, none of the other girls would dare to make things difficult for Mia, because they didn't have the ability to do that. Meanwhile, Harper and the other girls followed Mia. Although Britta wanted to buy Mia a meal today, Harper and the other girls also needed to eat at the cafeteria, so they went there together. Britta was considerate, so she understood that she needed to be friends with Harper and the others too. Since they were together today, she decided to buy them lunch too. "Since we're all here today, let me buy you all your food. You can order whatever you want to eat later. Don't hesitate to order your favorites," Britta announced. Harper and the other girls didn't know that Britta was going to buy Mia lunch today. They had no idea that Britta was close to Mia now, so they were surprised when she said that. They all instinctively turned to look at Mia in confusion. What was going on here? "Since Britta wants to buy us lunch, we can order our favorites later," Mia told them. She could see that Britta was willing to do that, so she accepted it. "Mia, what happened?" Cleo asked confusedly. "Mia said I could join your friend group. I'm one of you now," Britta announced. The other girls turned to look at Mia again. Because Mia didn't oppose it, they believed Britta must be telling the truth. Harper and the other girls didn't feel unhappy about it, but they decided to make Britta pay a lot for a nice meal. After all, she had caused them a lot of trouble before. In that case, we won't hesitate to order our favorites, Harper said. No problem, Britta replied. She thought it wouldn't be a big deal, because they couldn't eat that much. But I don't like the dishes in the cafeteria. Why don't we have a casual meal today, and you can buy us a good meal this Saturday? We can go sing karaoke and have fun, Harper suggested. Mia didn't miss the calculating look that flashed in her eyes. It was clear that Harper wanted Britta to pay for a more expensive meal. However, Mia didn't point it out. Instead, she agreed with Harper. After all, they had suffered losses from Britta before. It was very tolerant of them that they didn't harbor grudges against her. As a result, it was still acceptable that they wanted to cost Britta a bit of money. By doing that, they could get along with each other harmoniously in the future. When Harper said that, Britta didn't think it was a big deal. Accordingly, she agreed with alacrity. No problem. We can gather again this Saturday for a good meal and karaoke. You can choose the place. Britta was very generous, so she wasn't worried that it might cost her a lot of money. After all, she had invited Oakley and her other friends out for meals and karaoke many times before. It was nothing in her eyes, as long as they enjoyed themselves. Harper also suggested that, because she knew it was no big deal for Britta. She was from a very rich family after all. When Mia and the others arrived at the cafeteria, they saw Drew Gardner. Upon seeing Mia, Drew and his friends walked over. He had heard that Mia put out a fire and rescued people from it, so he admired her more than ever. She even became his idol. If it was possible, he still hoped that Mia could be his girlfriend. He would be proud to have a girl like her. Although he gave up after being scared by Mia last time, he wanted to try again when he saw her today. Both Mia and Britta were well known in their school, so they attracted a lot of attention wherever they went. Now another well-known student, Drew, walked over, so they immediately attracted even more attention. Even though he was the focus of everyone's attention, Drew didn't feel embarrassed at all. In front of Mia, he asked straightforwardly, Mia, do you really not want to be my girlfriend? I'll spoil you. Before Mia could say anything, Britta opened her mouth first. Who do you think you are? How dare you chase Mia? Why don't you look at yourself in the mirror first? She sneered. She had seen Mia with makeup, and she thought Mia was so beautiful that she deserved a better man than Drew. He was handsome and was from a rich family, but she still felt he didn't deserve Mia at all. Britta didn't criticize Drew to be mean, but Mia was indeed too outstanding. Ordinary men didn't deserve her. Drew was displeased when Britta insulted him. Britta, it's none of your business. Shut your mouth, he snapped. So what? Britta argued. Drew huffed in anger. If Britta weren't a girl, he would punch her right now. How hateful could she be? My boyfriend must be stronger than me. Keep that in mind. If you can defeat me, I'll give you a chance to ask me out, Mia challenged. Drew was upset because he knew that Mia was essentially rejecting him again. He couldn't beat her in a fight. You're a girl. A girl shouldn't fight all day. No man likes a girl like that. Men prefer gentle girls, he complained. So, I need a man who's stronger than me. Otherwise, how can he protect me? Don't men have high self-esteem? Don't you all want to be stronger than your girls? Or do you want to be a freeloader that needs protection? Mia argued. She didn't mean to embarrass Drew, but she wanted to persuade him to give up. Otherwise, it would be annoying if he confessed his affection for her again and again. Britta and the other girls snorted with laughter. They were full of disdain for Drew. In their eyes, he needed Mia's protection. In fact, many students around them also had the same idea, and they stared at Drew disdainfully as well. Drew looked very unhappy. He was insulted, but he had never thought about that before. It was true that Mia was stronger than him, so he would need her help whenever there was danger. If that were the case, he would be humiliated. Thinking of that, Drew gave up the idea of chasing Mia. When he saw the others looking at him, he realized that they thought he chased her for protection. As a result, he was angry. However, he didn't want other people to misunderstand him, so he replied, I understand. I didn't think about that. I simply felt felt that you are outstanding and different. He then turned to the onlookers and added with a scowl, "So don't look at me like that." Onlookers looked away at once because they didn't dare to mess with Drew. Britta and the other girls weren't afraid of Drew, but they stopped making fun of him after he said that. "In that case, please don't say that you're chasing me from now on. I don't want to cause misunderstandings," Mia said. "I won't," Drew answered. He cared about his pride, too. "But we can be friends, right?" he added. If they couldn't be boyfriend and girlfriend, it wasn't a bad thing if they could be friends. Mia was so impressive that Drew hoped to form a good relationship with her. "I don't make friends randomly, especially with boys," Mia rejected. Drew frowned. It wasn't easy to be close to Mia at all. Before he said anything else, his friends got angry. "Mia, you're impressive, but you're too arrogant. How could you refuse to be friends with Drew after rejecting him?" one boy said. They had been friends with Drew for a long time, and they had never seen anyone who dared to embarrass him like that before. "It's none of your business. Even if I'm arrogant, it has nothing to do with you. Why should I respect you? Have I ever hurt you before? You have no power or right to judge me. I can live my life as I want," Mia retorted with displeasure. She hated it when onlookers judged her. If she really had done anything wrong, she wouldn't be afraid of being criticized. But she hadn't done anything wrong this time. Drew's friend huffed in anger, but he didn't know what to say, because it indeed was none of his business. "Drew, are you as unreasonable as this lackey of yours?" Mia asked meaningfully. Drew gave the boy a glare, then said to Mia, "Of course I'm not." Afterwards, Drew turned around and walked away. Even though Mia rejected him, he didn't blame her. He was only upset. The boy who just judged Mia was unhappy that Drew was mad at him. He stood up for Drew, but Drew didn't care about him. As a result, the boy said unhappily, "Drew, what was that about? I stood up for you. Why are you mad at me?" Drew was even angrier. "Did I criticize you? You stood up for me, but you also embarrassed me. Do you think you're right?" he asked. The boy understood that he shouldn't have said that, so he didn't know how to respond. However, he was still displeased.
Dear listener, the upcoming episode will be today's last free episode of this story. Come back tomorrow to enjoy free episodes or get coins now to continue listening.
After Drew and the other boys were gone, Mia and her friends began to order their food. They weren't affected by the drama. Although Harper said that they could have a casual meal today before a formal meal this Saturday, she still ordered a lot, so it was really no different from a big meal. Luckily, Rita didn't care about that. She even asked them whether it was enough. No matter how much they ordered, they could eat it. Even if they couldn't, they wouldn't waste much food. They had a good habit of avoiding extravagance and waste. "Rita, will your friends be jealous if you join our group?" Leo asked. "Although I joined you, I won't abandon them. They're still my friends. Besides, I'm independent. It's my right and freedom to make friends with other people. I don't belong to them," Britta replied. She never even thought that her friends might be mad, because they could also have other friends. It was fine. "You're right," Cleo agreed. She understood that, but she still felt that some of Britta's friends must be displeased with Britta joining them. After all, people weren't only selfish in romantic relationships, they were sometimes selfish in friendships as well. However, it didn't matter, and Britta could make friends with whomever she wanted. "Oh, Master Goldson's 80th birthday is the day after tomorrow. Whose family's invited? Who will go?" Britta asked. The Goldson family was a wealthy family in Chicago, and they also had political power, so they had a high status. Since it was Master Goldson's 80th birthday, there would definitely be a grand party. "My family is invited, and I'll go," Mia said. She was going, not because she was interested in the party, but because she wanted to see Bradley. but she changed her mind because Mia would join in. Meanwhile, Alyssa was also talking about the birthday party with her friends. She would definitely go, and so would Hadley and Chloe. Rich heirs like them would be taken by their families to important events, to broaden their horizons, and to meet more people. If they could find a good partner to marry, that would be even better. Marriage in high society was built on benefits. Oftentimes, as long as a marriage could bring advantages to the couple and their families, love wasn't very important. Chloe was constantly thinking about the time she had with Elijah last night, so she often had an absent-minded look on her face. Once in a while, she put on a silly smile, which confused Alyssa and Hadley. Chloe, what happened? Why do you look absent-minded and have a goofy grin? Tell us, are you in love? Hadley asked jokingly. Chloe was taken aback. She immediately lied. Not at all. That's nonsense. Then why do you have that look on your face? Hadley asked. Yeah, why? Alyssa also asked curiously. I'm just interested in a TV show and can't forget about it. I dreamed about dating Skylar Hudson last night, so I couldn't stop thinking about the dream. That's why I had an absent look and a silly smile, Chloe explained, seeming shy. Skylar Hudson was the leading actor in a popular romantic TV show. He had a lot of fans who were teenage girls. They called him their husband. Oh,